I know I'm back in like less than 24 hours, another video. That's a lot of boredom. It's a lot of annoyance. You know, those handful of adjectives that just explain life. It's probably like maybe 11 o'clock. I don't know. I started the rice diet today, so for breakfast I had a cup of black coffee, half of a multivitamin, and I'm doing that for a reason we'll talk about in a minute. Then some assortment or some portion of rice, probably a cup of rice, 2 hard-boiled eggs, and that was that. And I used salt-free lemon pepper to season the rice, because rice is so bloody bland. And one of the reasons the rice diet is it cuts on a lot of like salts, like sodium, I guess even like potassium, and just different salts. What else salts are there? Isn't calcium a salt? There's calcium a metal. I think calcium chloride is a salt. I don't know. Don't quote me. My chemistry's rusty. But one of the things it cuts besides protein and fat is salts. So I got special lemon pepper that doesn't have salt. And let me tell you, lemon pepper is so much different without salt. So I'm not sure how I'm going to handle this. I only had my first meal so far. Well, I mean, unless you count like coffee and a multivitamin. But I only had my first meal. And I didn't hate it. It's just there's no real flavor. And it's just kind of, I don't know, kind of sad. And this might sound silly, because I only ate like an hour ago or so. But I do feel ever so slightly more energetic. And which I very well might be because I didn't start my day out with cake. Like I usually I started eating 2 pumpkin cookies with a cup of coffee in the morning. And this morning I didn't do that. So it might not be so much the rice, it might just be the fact that I didn't start my day with garbage. So it's not crazy noticeable, but I do see a few problems stemming from this. One being, rice is so bland. And if I add too much stuff to it, that kind of defeats the purpose. So I gotta figure out a way that I can like it. So another thing is, if this energy increase is from the rice, and it is going to continue or get more energy. I was going to say worse, but worse is only from my perspective, because it's getting to be wintertime when I'm doing this. I don't have a lot of stuff to burn energy on. So yeah, it can be kind of a bad thing if I'm wired and I don't want to go outside, because that's going to be, we'll see. I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, this is a challenge, a personal challenge. If I complete it, I will give it my all. If I don't complete it, I'm no better off than when I didn't do it in the first place. So it's one of those things, It's a personal challenge to see if I can do it. But if I can't do it, I can't do it. There's nothing at stake. So now I did want to talk about the other video idea. I did kind of remember it after I finished the episode yesterday, because it did pertain to honesty. I want to throw a scenario at you, a hypothetical. So let's say everything you say and do doesn't get to the people you want it to get to. It has to pass through a quote-unquote channel. So, everything you say and do has to go to one person to get passed on to the next person. And that person in between gets to decide how they convey that information. For instance, I went to pick up some beer before taking a hike, as I do. And the one guy behind the register saw that I was carrying a knife. And he asked me to see it. And I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. So, one story he could give is, I was wearing my camo pants, by the way. The ones that I wear for just kind of like, whatever happens, happens. But one version of the story he could give is that he came into the store, he had 2 knives, was buying beer, wearing camo to run through the woods. And he wouldn't be lying. Now, the truth of the story is, I had 2 knives, because I had the knife on my belt that I always carry, the little C-shaped guy. And then I had a little pocket knife keychain that I use to open beer and stuff sometimes, or help untie my shoes. It's not very much of a knife, to be completely fair, but it would be considered a knife. So, in one version of the truth, is that basically depicts me as a maniac, and another version of the truth is that, I'm just a guy who was getting some beer to walk through the woods. So you get what I'm saying? Like, I was thinking about it, because whenever I was talking to the guy, I was like, yeah, now that I pulled my knife out to show you, it's probably on camera, and there's probably no audio, so you could say I stuck the place up. So I was thinking about that, like, well, he could say all kinds of things, and he really wouldn't be wrong. And it got me to think about the situation I'm in, and I'm like, okay, so depending on the situation, depending on how the knowledge is conveyed, depending how the information gets from point A to point B, or how it's perceived or delivered, you could tell the complete truth, and it could also be a complete fabrication. If you get what I'm saying? So, like, you can say that I walked into the six-pack, pulled out a knife, and you wouldn't be wrong, but that's not really what happened. You understand? Like that's what I'm trying to say. It's not a lie, but it's not the truth. If that makes sense. If you tell, like, a lot of these war stories, or these movies where there's a big hero, this guy comes out on top all alone, nobody's seen what happened, but, he tells the story like, yo, I went in and fought off 10 armed assassins with my bare hands with one broken leg, and just managed to escape. And who's there to question him if all his team is dead? As far as all you could know, as far as you know, he killed his entire team, and all the villains escaped because he was a double-crosser, but you never know the difference because there's nobody to tell a different side of the story. That's what I'm trying to say, I think. I think that's what I'm trying to say. It's best to, if you care enough about something, it's best to get the information yourself. And on top of that, it's best to weigh out how important that information actually is in the first place. So, like in my situation, I feel throughout my life that there would be quite a few things that could have been avoided if somebody would have just asked me. Because I'm either going to do one of two things. I'm going to tell you that it's none of your business, and if you can't handle that, bugger off. Or the second thing I'm going to do is just tell you, because I really don't care. And, both things are a means to an end. One quenches your thirst for knowledge. The other one ends the relationship, so the thirst for knowledge no longer needs to exist. Or it no longer has an impact on at the very least, my life. If you have somebody in between conveying the knowledge... Do you ever see those stupid challenges where people, Google Translate something in, 15 languages, and it starts out saying, please stop at every stop sign, and it ends out saying, throw chicken at random rabid clowns, something stupid like that. That can happen, but if the mediator has a preference to how the knowledge is conveyed, it can really screw up the situation. That's my hypothetical. That's my hypothetical for the thing. That's the video. I hope you understand. It's stupid. It's stupid, but it's what I think, what I feel, what I see. And I just kinda... If I can't help myself, maybe someday, if this ever gets anywhere important, maybe someday it'll help somebody else. Or at the very least, help them understand. Now, there's a big freaking bird. I know you guys can't see that, but there was a big freaking bird. I didn't see the deer today. There he is. I know you guys can't see it. He's in between the trees. I can barely see it. 90% sure it was a hawk in my area. The biggest birds would be ravens, the eagles, hawks. There might be falcons around here, but turkeys, turkey buzzards, and it wasn't any of those things. Alright, we're at the gate. I think that's far enough. There's another bird. That's a smaller one, though. I'm gonna go. Enjoy some of the walk back. And if I think of anything else, I will return. So I'm having some issues thinking of ways to absorb some of the time since I don't play the server anymore. And my Halloween costume's done. My jack-o'-lantern is jack-o'-lanterned. I cooked most of the things I wanted to cook. I wanted to try making the pumpkin fudge. That was kind of a disaster, so I ended up making pumpkin fudge cookies, which turned out pretty good. But I don't have the garden anymore, so the garden's done. I'm kind of running out of things I can actually do. Today, for instance, it's still really early, and I'm already taking my theoretical once-a-day hike. And it's Saturday, so the buses are funky. So I'm not really going anywhere today. This is the close trail to the house, in which round trip usually takes about maybe 40 minutes, and that's chilling and talking, not powering through like I do the other trail. It takes 2 hours. So I actually take my time here because I know there's nothing to go back to, and I know it ain't gonna last long. Excuse me again. But yeah. And I'm decided to go early and go here because now that I started the rice diet, I'm gonna be doing the rice diet for more than likely 2 weeks if I can stick to it. So I might take up what's left of the green tomatoes to my aunt, uncle, and cousin so they don't go bad. And that's another, 15 minute walk one way. So it's nothing nothing huge. This one, that one's more of a pain because it's a lot of uphill, but it should be whatever. But that way they don't go bad and somebody will eat them. I have six green ones left. I made 2 yesterday because I knew I was starting the rice diet today, so I wanted to make 2 yesterday. And I put 2 more green ones on the windowsill to turn red. And there's 1 red one left because she's been eating them. So, still got quite a few. So, I figured 1 more trip up there would kill off most of the backstock. That's really going. It's still going. And it stopped. Yeah, somewhere around here there was a ladder tied to a tree. And I always thought about going to get it because it was solid aluminum. But aluminum isn't worth much. And I'm not sure why it's there. So I basically decided against it. There was something else tied. This whole memory bullcrap is getting worse. So I'll remember it when I'm off camera and do a whole other 15-minute clip of me trying to formulate a way to say something I can't quite remember. And, yeah, I don't know. I'm in a weird spot right now. Because I'm in a slightly better mood. Because it's October. And I love this season because it's typically a good temperature. I love Halloween. It's just, everything about it is just the best season of the year in my area, in my opinion. So, I'm in kind of a good mood about that. But I am getting so angry at my my situation because it's just it's really hard to talk about, and it's really hard to it's hard to talk about because it's hard to actually explain. It's like there's cameras at my house, right? And when the cameras are on or off, you know, I get treated like, you know, some sort of piece of trash. And when the cameras are, you know, the opposite, it's like I'm being killed with kindness. Or something like that. It's complicated. And then I keep thinking about this. I got my permit. I'm going to get my license. I'm getting a cell phone. Probably be working towards getting a job. Like, that's great if it's not just a method of giving me something so it can be taken away. Because right now, it's really difficult to provoke an emotional reaction out of me because I don't have anything to lose. Not really. Besides my dignity, or what's left of it. So, yeah. I don't really know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But whenever things start going right, I automatically wonder, like, is this just another ploy to give me something to take it away? Like, you know, you can't really... If you ain't got nothing to lose, you gotta get something that you want so that they have the leverage again. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm nuts. I'm probably nuts. You know what? That's probably it. It's probably it. Everything that I think and see and everything that happened in my life is just a complete fabrication because I'm a lunatic. It's definitely not the truth. Because, you know, that would be insane. No, I'm not crazy. Sorry. I thought about playing crazy a couple of times, but I'm too stupid to play crazy. And I'm too smart to play crazy. Does that make sense? Like, if I was smart, I would play crazy. But I'm just smart enough to not want to play crazy, I guess. Alright, I'm done. This is getting weird and ranty. And I don't even know what to really say. And that's not even that it really matters. I'll let you know on the update what's going on. Projected to get my driver's license after Halloween. I want to do a couple practice runs, and the only car I have available is out of town right now. Weird, right? And I got a phone coming. I'll be able to use the phone to be able to get calls directly to me, so that I could be a little more sure that I'm getting the calls, hopefully. Then I guess I'll be applying for jobs and looking into the government assistance for getting a car. It's funny how things just line up, huh? Makes you kind of wonder. Alright. The truth of the matter is, I could have and should have had all this done already, but whatever stole my life from me completely shot that down the tubes. So, yeah, like I said, getting weird. I'm out of here. Later on. Yeah, I'm back. The multivitamin thing that I mentioned. The reason I break them in half is because your body can only absorb so much nutrients at a time. And a whole vitamin, your body doesn't actually absorb all that. You actually pee a lot of that out. I think, don't quote me, but I think vitamin C is the only thing your body can absorb, like, 100% of. So if you're taking multivitamins, your best course of action would be to break them into 2 or 3 pieces and take one with every meal, rather than take one in the morning and one at night. You're just wasting it. Like, you might not be getting the full amount of nutrients your body can absorb, but at least you're not just peeing it all out. So, and I may have said that before in a video. I'm not entirely sure, but I did want to clarify that, because that's a little science, a biology standpoint, and a biology bullet point, a biology tip that might benefit someone's knowledge someday.